What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode. For those who are wondering, those are my initials right there. Alright? For the people questioning my name. Alright, but on a real serious note, guys, let's create an example here. Let's say you had 4 hours worth of mail overtime. Okay? Now, let's say something happened at 7 o'clock. Let's just say you start at 8. Okay, that's your starting time. So you're projected to come back at 8:30 with your mail delivered. But let's say something happened at 7 o'clock and you fell behind. Okay, let's say your cell phone died. Let's say your scanner died. Let's say you lost total communication with management. Or let's say for some reason you didn't want to use your phone because that's a personal phone. Management doesn't pay your bill. All right, so management can see you on the MDD scanner. They can see us through our breadcrumbs. They can see what's going on throughout the day. So if they saw us falling behind, common sense says they would have sent out a CCA or someone to help you. Okay. Anyway, 8:30 comes. You bring back an hour worth of mail. Okay. Now you have a valid reason of why you did it. Okay. You come back. Management asks you what happened. You tell them what happened. I brought back the mail. It's unsafe. There was an animal rolling around. Whatever you tell them. That's it. End of conversation. Okay. Now they keep on speaking to you, and they want to know more and more and more. Okay. Now you start to feel like, all right, is this an interview? Like, are you investigating something here? Right. If you have that assumption, if you have that hunch, right, all you got to do at that point is ask management, can this conversation lead to discipline if I keep on talking, right? And if management says yes, then you say, all right, well, I would like to invoke my Weingarten rights, and I would like to have a shop steward or union representative present. Okay, at that point, the manager has to end the conversation with you. Okay, they can either call your shop steward. Okay, they can allow you to continue speaking by letting you know, and you can continue speaking if you want, or they just end the conversation and wait to a later date. Okay, now the next day that conversation is going to take place. Okay, the questions that the manager wants answers to, you're going to be questioned. However, it's not going to happen the night at 8 o'clock, okay, when there's no one there to be there with you. All right, it's going to happen with a shop steward. You requested a shop steward. Your shop steward's there. Your shop steward has the opportunity to get the heads up from management, because now they're going to do a PDI, or basically it's an interview before they issue discipline. And usually management gives the shop steward a head up, like, listen, I'm going to bring this guy in for a PDI. This is what happened. All right. So now the shop steward got a chance to speak to you to see what happened, and kind of, let you know that this is what management is saying. This is what you said happened. All right. Well, let's get it on paper. All right. The thing about you being questioned without the manager there, without the shop steward there, is management has a way of hearing what they want to hear when you're speaking to them, and then that becomes your statement. Okay, so we don't want your statement to be taken out of content without a shop steward or union representative there, because you want to make sure that what is written is solid. Okay, now this is extremely important because this is the informal A part of arbitration. Okay, this is the first line of building your case. Okay, in the next step, in a formal A step, they're going to use what is written down in your PDI interview. Okay, so if your final interview didn't have a shop steward and then management twists your words, it's their word versus yours. You kind of get where I'm going with it. So the Weingarten rights came out of the 70s, and it was a Supreme Court ruling saying that a union employee has the right to union representation, okay, when being questioned and facing discipline. Now, President Clinton and his administration, he actually opened this rule up to all employers, okay? And then President Bush II, George W. Bush, he closed it back to just union employees. Okay? Why is that important? Well, we got to think about the benefit of having someone there. Okay? It's almost like a jailhouse lawyer. You know what I'm saying? In a PDI, you don't want to incriminate yourself. Okay? You want to tell the truth. Okay? If you don't recall the events of what happened, you don't recall. But it's important not to incriminate yourself. You know, just as you would in a court of law, you have the protection of self-incrimination. And I will always recommend, you know, if your memory is foggy, you know, don't make anything up. Okay? If you don't recall something, you don't recall. The reason it's important what Clinton did and what Bush reversed is because if that manager continues to interview you after you invoke your Weingarten rights, that could be considered an unfair labor practice, which means if the union has sufficient evidence, they could bring that up to the National Labor Board and they could file a labor charge. Now, the reason why it's important is because the Labor Board is governed by whatever majority seat is in office. All right, so if the Republicans are in office, the National Labor Board is going to be a majority Republicans. If the Democrats are in office, then the National Labor Board, which consists of 5 members, is going to be a majority of Democrats. So, you know, Republicans are usually pro-employers and Democrats are usually pro-workers. So depending on what time of year or political season, you know, we are in, like, that's going to determine whether your union is going to feel that they have a strong enough case to pursue labor charges on management. Now, we work for the Postal Service, which means that the NALC is going to have to file labor charges against the United States government. Okay, it's not going to happen under a Republican leadership. All right, it may happen under a Democratic leadership, but it's important to understand that this is an outcome of management violating these rights. Okay, the most important thing to do is make sure that you're protected in that interview and that you have your representation. Okay, guys, if anyone has any issues with this, write a message down below. We'll try to get you as much information as we can. And I just want to say, be smart, guys. A knowledgeable union member is a strong union member. And what happens is once you start to know things, you become a threat to management. So just understand you got to be even smarter and protect yourself once you know a little bit of these rights that are associated with you being a union employee. All right, guys, so until next time, I'll be here, you'll be there. And if you guys are interested, I actually wouldn't mind going into the whole history behind Weingarten herself. She was a woman, and she worked in a chicken place, and we can talk about how her case became a national case that gave us that protection today. So if you're interested, just let me know. All right, guys, until next time, I'll be here, you'll be there. Peace.